Hello, this is a review of my Jaeger Lecoultre Master Ultra Thin Moon 39. So I bought this watch earlier this year, secondhand. It's actually about 7 or 8 years old. The original buyer had bought it from a grey market dealer, so it didn't have papers, so I'm not entirely sure of what date it is, but it came with the box, so I'm happy enough with that. This is a watch I've wanted for a long time, actually. It is something I've been looking at pictures of online. I've tried on a few times, and I've been lucky enough this year to finally be able to pick it up for a very reasonable price. Actually, I paid about £4,700. I paid £4,700 for this, whereas the new model retails at about £8,000 or so. The new model is a little bit different. It's got slightly longer indices and a different movement, I believe. But this, I'm very happy with this. So it's a 39mm size, and the case diameter, which a lot of people would say is kind of perfect, really, and I agree. Especially for a dress watch, I think it fits really nicely on the wrist. It's a bit of not a pain, but it takes a while to put that deployment clasp on. So this is the OEM original black alligator strap, which I don't especially like. I don't like wearing animal leather anyway. I did replace it with a recycled sea plastic one, trying to be all eco and that, but it's actually too stiff and it kind of made me not enjoy wearing it. So it's got back on the OEM strap just for the minute whilst I decide what to do. But there it is on my 7-inch wrist. Just for comparison, I will show you what a Rolex Submariner, which a lot of people know how that wears, looks like. So this is the 40mm. This is the discontinued 114060 model. So this wears a lot bigger. They're very different designs. The way a watch wears depends, very much on the case design, not just the size, the bezel, etc. But that's a sub, like I say, 7-inch wrist. Back to the Jaeger Lecoultre. So with dress watches, it's all about the details, really. It's very subtle. The main draw of this, of course, is the moon phase there that you can see. It's set by these pushers on the side, so the date is set by this one, I think, and the moon phase is set by this one here. Weirdly, it comes with the pusher that comes in the box, obviously, and even though everything else should work, like a toothpick, which would be good because wood is less hard than metal, so you wouldn't scratch it, so a toothpick should be able to change the date and the moon phase, but weirdly it doesn't seem to work. I don't understand why. My friend has the same problem, which is strange, but nonetheless, my point being, to set the moon phase and the date, you need really to use the main pusher, or at least I do anyway. So I've got a few watches, as you can see. So essentially I keep this one on a winder to keep it constantly wound, because it's annoying having an incorrect date or incorrect moon phase, and it's equally annoying having to dig into the watch box, the box within the box, to get the official pushers to use it. So long story short, I keep this on a winder. So it's an in-house, of course. JLC is well known for the movements. Jaeger Lecoultre 925 movement. It's quite pretty, nicely decorated there, as you'd expect. It's nothing special specs-wise. I mean, it is a moon phase, obviously, which is pretty cool in its own right. But it's a 28K VPH, which is very standard, of course. I think it's only a 38-hour power reserve. So not amazing. Like I said, I think the new model of this has a movement with a longer power reserve, but the 925 is it's 38-hour power reserve. It's only unidirectional winding, so it only winds in one direction. But I didn't really buy it for the movement. I bought it mainly for the moon phase, and you can see my phone reflecting back in both the crystal and that beautiful moon phase itself there. You can see the moon and stars on that little disc. Really simple. It's got this blued hand that you can just about see in the diminishing winter light here in England. So this blued central seconds hand that ticks around there. Obviously no loom on the hour and minute, or any of the hands, in fact, because this is a dress watch. But it's very elegant. As you can probably see from some of the watches in the background now, I do quite like bracelet watches, and my lifestyle is such that I don't tend to wear dress watches or have occasion to wear dress watches much. If I'm wearing a tux, it's coming up to Christmas. If I end up wearing a tux for any reason, I could happily wear one of these three in the background. whereas this obviously isn't especially rugged or hardy. So I don't know. I do a lot of sports, although I tend to wear my G-Shock for that. My point being, whilst this has been an absolute grail of mine for a long time, I've always wanted this, and I finally got it, and I'm very, very happy with it. It's very pretty. It doesn't seem to get as much wrist time as the other watches, the sports watches in the background there, so it may not stick around forever. I just really like bracelets. I think that's the thing. I bought a Milanese strap. It was £3.50 from Alibaba or something like that, to put on this, but it doesn't look right at all. You need a dark strap with this watch. In fact, the blue strap that I bought for it, that I replaced it with, worked really well. The blue matched the blue seconds hand, so it was quite nice. But as I say, it was too thick really, and didn't wrap nice, so I stopped wearing it. So I would recommend personally putting this on a blue strap if you're going to do that. But like I say, I do quite like bracelet watches, so this may not stick around forever. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about it. It's not a screw down crown, obviously. Hand winding, hacking movement, date changes over at 12, like you'd hope and expect, of course. Very simple case design. It is pretty thin, not super thin. I mean, it wears perfectly thin enough. Sapphire, very slightly curved, domed. It's a simple thing. There's not a whole lot to say on the matter. As you can see, double deployment butterfly clasp, and on the back there. Yeah, there aren't loads of reviews of this online, which is why I wanted to leave this. A lot of them were done by dealers, and they're often a bit biased to sell the watches, obviously. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the thing. I think it's absolutely beautiful. If you're in the market for a dress watch and you've got, well, £8,000 new, well, I'm sure you can haggle. Then I don't think you can do any worse. You know, Jaeger Lecoultre is a legendary watchmaker. A lot of heritage. You know, arguably some of the very best historically. And I think this thing's very pretty. I do like a moon phase. Like I say, the only downside would be that you can only set them through the pushers, although that's quite common. A lot of moon phase watches, you can't usually set them through the crown. So if you've got a large collection, then I do suggest putting this on a winder like I do, so you can pick it up and wear it, because having to go and get the pusher or toothpick and set the moon, or have an incorrect moon phase, is a pain, so I wouldn't recommend that. But otherwise, yeah, fantastic watch. Really, really lovely. And as a dress watch, if I'm going to keep one, I think this is the one I'll keep. It's just whether or not I end up getting yet another stainless steel sports watch. But I think I'll hold on to it for the moment. I'm quite pleased. Just need to change the strap out. That's pretty much it. Any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.